This Toyota has almost 300,000 miles on it, but what's broken stumped the last shop and they completely gave up. Let's find out what's wrong with this Tundra. Let's get started. Before we dive into this Tundra and figure out what's wrong, if any of you guys are into the tinfoil hat scene with aliens and Bigfoot and reptilians and demons and all the crazy things out there, some of us think it's a bunch of BS, but if you're into that stuff, we have a new channel coming up. Me and my friend Thomas Durant, who is a paranormal expert, also a TV producer, have started our own channel that comes out October 1st called Can You Believe That? When that time comes, there'll be a link in the description to send you guys over. It's going to be a really cool series. You're going to see things about the Car Wizard that you've never seen on Hoovie's Garage or Car Issues or Car Trek, anywhere. So it's going to be really cool. Now, back to the truck. This is a 2008 Toyota Tundra with 298,000 miles on it. It had check engine light and all kinds of things. You guys know with Toyotas, when it has engine troubles, they start flashing every light they can to try and scare you. It's got the ABS, VSC, all these different lights are going like a Christmas tree. You're like, oh my God, my engine's about to blow up. When in reality, the problem wasn't that big of a deal as far as blowing up the engine. It's not. Customer had it at another shop. They recommended a mass airflow sensor, maybe try this or that. The customer tried those things and he said it ran fine before, it ran fine after that, but the lights did not go away. He just kind of said, you know what, let's just stop where we're at. I'll get this thing over to Omega and we'll figure this out. And what we found out what's wrong with this thing had absolutely nothing to do with the airflow sensor at all. Let's go ahead and take a look around this Tundra. This thing is wide, Mrs. Wizard.
Yeah, this isn't like the little Toyota trucks back in the 90s.
Nope, this thing is huge. Big Tundra. I like these things. This one is blue, kind of like a jewel blue. It's metallic. As you can see, it's got some big off-road tires on it, some big XD series wheels on it, and they look nice. It looks very good with the truck. You can see it has the iForce 5.7 liter V8. Big power. As we go down the side, for 300,000 miles, this truck actually is in really pretty good shape. There's some dents and dings here and there that you can see, but it's to be expected with that many miles. On the back, nothing fancy, just Toyota Tundra 4x4, and then it does have a nice rust dent ding there going on underneath the taillight. But the rest of the body down the side looks pretty nice, and the tires look fairly new. For the miles, I definitely can't complain. Let's go ahead and jump into the interior.
Okay, ladies and gents, you better like orange if you want this truck, because everything is orange, and a little red, I guess. But in that little orange box down below, it says 298,651 miles. And yeah, every light is on, blinking, and I don't know if it's just test mode or what, but you know, that's what it's probably like when he's driving it. A little scary. But with 298,000, okay, basically 300,000 miles, this thing is in really, really nice condition. All of our dials for the HVAC system are very easy to use and quite large. Again, notice everything in here is big. As we move over, you'll see it has two massive cup holders that could hold some massive bottles of Gatorade or whatnot in there. And then we also have a smaller cup holder, well, maybe change holder? I don't know, it could definitely hold another beverage in there too. We do have our gear selector next to that and a nice spot with some coins as well. Has a huge armrest. No fighting over the arm with your passenger here. It does have a small tear, and that is like one of the very first things we're seeing with as an issue in this almost 300,000 mile vehicle. Passenger seat isn't looking in really good condition. It has a little bit of staining on it, and you really don't notice that as much in person, but of course cameras pick up every little bit and every little flaw. So we do see a little bit there, but again, with 300,000 miles, it's looking great. Door card is looking good condition as well, because a lot of times plastic, especially as it ages, gets brittle. Nope, got a little bit of tarnishing on the armrest, but that's it. Back seat, good condition. Looks like the kiddos have well, we might have a murder going on back there. I'm not sure. The police have shown up with our figure on the ground. It's not looking good. So we're back at the steering wheel, and it does have a cover, and I'm imagining that it is probably sunburned. With as many miles on the car and all of them being put on by the driver in this seat, I can imagine that is probably a little bit maybe abused underneath. Other than that, everything's in great condition. Let's go see what's going on with the Wizard.
So definitely why I tell you guys to get a Toyota truck. With 300,000 miles, it just has a few dings and it needs some repairs because of the miles, but there's so many trucks that don't make it this far. I get a lot of emails of people say, I'm looking at this Nissan Titan. I say, no. They say, but the deal is so good. No. I don't care if you're getting a good deal. You're going to get ripped off. You're going to lose a lot of money. It can be really hard to tell the true condition of a car or truck just by judging the exterior. I've seen my share of great looking cars, but if the engine was never maintained, the car is usually a disaster. That's the same for us too. We have two ages, our true age and our biological age. Our bio age suggests how healthy or unhealthy we are on the inside. You really want your bio age to be younger than your true age. Let me tell you how Field of Greens is helping me do just that. The sponsor of today's video. Field of Greens is an organic superfood, fruit and veggie drink. What makes them different though? Field of Greens flash freezes their fruits and vegetables to preserve their nutrients. Those other guys boil down their produce, which really weakens their health benefits. As I'm getting older and finding out that I'm no longer that 20-year-old kid in the Army, I take my health very, very seriously, which includes eating healthy and drinking Field of Greens. If you struggle to eat healthy, can't fit healthy food options to your busy day, or you just don't like that many fruits and veggies, Field of Greens is there for you. Each fruit and veggie in their drink mix was selected by doctors for the benefit of your body. You need just one scoop daily. You'd have to take 18 capsules of the other guy's super supplements to equal one Field of Greens scoop. Plus, they are backed by a better health promise. At your next doctor visit, your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. Join me in better health with 15% off and free shipping. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code CARWIZARD. That's promo code CARWIZARD at fieldofgreens.com. Once again, that's fieldofgreens.com. Now back to today's Tundra. So everything looks pretty good on the outside on this truck, but on the inside, it had some issues. Danielson actually diagnosed this. And I want to show you what the previous shop thought was wrong. I'll go ahead and grab this intake tube here and this air cleaner hat or top. This is our airflow sensor here. I don't know if that looks brand new or not, but it is an OEM Toyota Hitachi sensor. I don't know how long ago that could have been replaced, but that's the airflow sensor. One thing I've learned in this line of work is those that don't really know much about cars but want to present themselves that they do know about cars usually always resort to a handful of sensors. A family member says, hey, my car is acting up. And they're like, oh yeah, man, it's got to be the mass airflow sensor. It usually never is. Oh yeah, you ought to try those oxygen sensors. They're always relying on the cheap, easy to get to stuff to sound like they know what they're talking about. Oh yeah, try out your oxygen sensor. Is it that mass airflow sensor? It might be a fuel pump. There's so many more complicated systems on a vehicle than just those sensors, but they always go to those sensors. I don't know why. Danielson looked up the codes and there was nothing there even about a mass airflow sensor. It had failures in the secondary air injection system, which is very common on these Tundras, where they placed dual secondary air injection pumps and it has dual air injection valves, both of which can be kind of tough to get to. Once Danielson actually removed the old parts, they were full of water. Did the customer drive through water? I'm not sure. But like I said, we use Identifix here as a database that you can look up a lot of common issues with models and vehicles. And when he looked it up, it's just pages and pages of air injection system full of water, full of water. It keeps saying that. So these are the secondary air injection pumps. They're just like little vacuum cleaner motors with a wheel that pumps air. That's all they do. Now what's wrong with these? That's what's wrong with them. Water in them. I'm still getting water out of these. Even after they've been removed, It's just saturated in there. Obviously these are dead. These are no good. And they're a couple of $100 a piece. So the little crack you just saw on the other one was from some other damage. That's not what caused the water to get in. But where they're located can cause water to get in. Right under here in the passenger wheel well on the front, you fold the liner out of the way. And there's the new one. This has already been installed there. You can see if you got into some high water, they'll fill with water very easily. And then when these things fill with water, they ruin the next domino in the chain. They literally spray and pump water into the diverter valves. So you can see our intake manifold has been removed. It's the only way to get to these things. These little corrugated pipes right here are where air comes from those little pumps I just showed you. And it's supposed to pump the air into those two valves in the back, and from there it goes into the exhaust. And you'll notice I said air. It's supposed to pump fresh air back there, not water. These things get full of water, then they push the water into those valves in the back and ruin those as well. So it's like when one fails, the other fails. Like a domino effect. It takes them both out at the same time. Let me grab the new valves and show you what it looks like.
Ooh, it's nice and shiny.
Yes, brand new. Here's our new diverter valves. The air comes into here and electronically can open and close these valves. And then there's exhaust little tubes that go from here to the exhaust manifolds. So air comes in and the computer can open and close when that air, or how much air, into the exhaust. And again, these are not supposed to be a valve for water. They're supposed to be for air. So unfortunately, this is kind of an expensive job. So you've got intake gaskets, you've got possibly some corrugated pipes depending on if they're in good shape or not. You got those air injection pumps, which most cars that I've ever worked on have one air injection pump for the whole engine. For whatever reason, there's two, one for each bank. The left side of the engine and the right side of the engine. And it can individually adjust or change each bank on its own. The computer can control each bank. That's basically what it's for. And it pumps air to those valves, which are now dead. Once we get those new valves replaced, the new pumps installed, we'll make sure the system's clear of water as we go along. It'll take care of all those crazy flashing lights. That's all it was. It's not an oxygen sensor. It's not an airflow sensor. It's not a fuel pump that these things people commonly jump to because they're easy. It actually had nothing to do with any of those sensors. 300,000 miles. And although it's not very fun to do this emission system, that's all that's wrong. Now, what does that system do? Why is it even there? Secondary air injection is designed to help your catalytic converters get more oxygen into them and get them to what's called light off, to get the catalyst process going and start cleaning up your exhaust. If you don't send in a bunch of air when the engine's cold, like when you first start it, it can take quite a while for that process to start. They don't want that much time elapsed where you're polluting the environment. So they put these air injection pumps on. It pumps air in at large volumes and gets it to start heating up and start doing its job really fast. Is it going to hurt the engine? Nope. Does it have anything to do with fuel economy? No. Is it going to hurt the cat? Possibly if it got water in it in this scenario. But secondary air injection in general is only there for one reason, and only one reason. Mandatory government laws and regulations. That's it. It does nothing else for your car.
Wizard, did you pedal yourself?
Yeah, it looks like I kind of went to the bathroom. It's actually the air injection pump's pedal on the floor, not me. I'm stepping all in it, Mrs. Wizard.
A likely excuse.
Right. So next time you're at Thanksgiving dinner with your family and you tell your uncle or your friend or your brother or whoever, my car's acting up, and they immediately say, oh yeah, it's the oxygen sensor. You can know you watched a Car Wizard video and know that they're full of crap, probably. A true technician who actually knows what they're talking about will make this statement. I need to see the car and run tests and do a diagnosis before I can give you an answer, because just like a doctor doesn't diagnose cancer through email or phone calls, neither are you going to be able to do an effective, accurate diagnosis while eating turkey at a dinner table. So I definitely wanted to do a video for you guys showing this very high mile Toyota Tundra. It's probably got easily another 100,000 miles in it. Did they pay a lot more for this truck? You bet they did. Because people know when these are on car lots, dealers, they know it's a good vehicle. It's going to last a long time. Therefore, I'm going to ask a higher dollar amount. So many people ask for recommendations, and I say, go buy a Highlander, a RAV4, a Corolla, a Camry, and they say, I looked at those, but the prices are out of my budget. Then get an older one. Both of my kids have taken my advice. They both have vehicles that are lasting a long time, not giving them a lot of fits and a lot of trouble. They got older models, so that would be in their budget, what they could afford. So many times I've had people say, I went with a cheaper price. I found this GMC Acadia. I found this Buick Enclave. It was so much cheaper. And 6 months later, they're emailing back, that was a mistake. I actually didn't save any money in the end. I should have found a way to get the loan to get the more expensive Toyota. If you're curious what kind of tools that we use to work on these cars, check our Amazon affiliates link in the description below. If you purchase anything, we get a small cut and really appreciate it. Don't forget October 1st. Can you believe that? That's the new channel that me and my friend Tommy are starting about paranormal, aliens, and ghosts and all those things. It's going to be a really good channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button here too, because our schedule is full of more cars, which means more videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.